Hey everybody, real quick. I wanted to talk about the whole 3D 5D thing, which is the current pop language that everybody uses. There's no such thing. There's no movement from 3D to 5D. That's a contrivance that somebody started using apparently at some point. I don't know when, maybe in the 90s or in the early 2000s. I have no idea. But because that's the language being used, everybody apparently circulates it. You cannot move from the 3D to the 5D. It doesn't make any sense. Who's the you that would do that? The 3D is this right here. But the 3D doesn't really exist. It's the fourth dimension. Fourth dimension is time, space, and thought. And all of this is time, space, and thought. It's the fourth dimension. There is no time, space without thought. And there's no thought without time, space. It is the fourth dimension. So what people call the first, second, and third dimensions are all just part of the fourth dimension. It's all encapsulated in the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is the mind identified as ego, is the identified mind. That's the mind in hell. The fifth dimension is the Akash. That's dimension 0. You can't, it's not, it's the most non-physical, physical dimension that you can get. And even then, it's not really, it's so subtle, you can't call it physical or non-physical. And so the fifth dimension, which is the Akashic dimension, is dimension 0. You can't move from the third dimension, which is a contrived notion of the body, which does not include thought, which it must include. You can't separate the body from thought. You can't separate the third dimension from the fourth dimension. The third dimension is contained in the fourth dimension. And the fourth dimension is contained in the fifth dimension, which is the Akash. So when you realize the essence of dimension 0, the 0 point, then what happens is you find yourself in the sixth dimension, which is Christ consciousness. That is the mind that is not the mind. It is the free mind. It's the clear mind. You know, the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind. It's the clear mind. And so there's no movement from 3D to 5D. That's a bunch of bullshit contrivance. And when people talk like that, that should set a little something off in you. The movement is from the fourth dimension to the sixth dimension. And this is not coming from any bullshit contrivance. This is coming from the speaker's direct awareness and direct perception and direct knowledge. Everything the speaker says, everything I say, comes from direct awareness, direct knowledge, firsthand. This is all firsthand. Firsthand. Here are my first hands. My first-hand hands. So everything the speaker says is firsthand, okay? If the speaker ever quotes something from another, if the speaker ever quotes a piece of poetry or a piece of writing or scripture or anything, and I do not stand on anything outside of myself as an authority. There's no scripture, no poet, nothing. Nothing. Everything is direct first-hand awareness of what is, of God itself. Period. End of story. First-hand awareness of my own self, by my own self, out of my own self, because my own self is all there is. You are my own self. Got it? Good. So if I ever reference some writing or some words other than the ones coming out of here, there will always be some kind of an homage to that. I will say this is a quote from Hafiz or from Rumi or from the Bible or the Quran or the Gita or the Ramayana or the Purana or whatever it might be. If I reference a work that is attributed to somebody else, I will always give that attribution. I couldn't even imagine not doing so. So there is no movement from the 3D to the 5D. That doesn't even make any sense. On any level does that make any sense. The movement is from the fourth dimension to the sixth dimension. That's 6 in American Sign Language. From the 4D to the 6D. That's the movement. That is the time-bound mind to timelessness. That is from hell to heaven. Okay? From slavery to freedom. From being in the cage to being completely free in this universal sandbox of being. That's where we are. And I'm saying that, and I'm hoping that that gets transmitted and put out there because I'm really, really sick of all of the contrived, not even sick sick when I see it, but in the sense of, when you smell bad food or garbage, it's like, what's that? But so much of the talking spiritually that we do around what's going on is just fucking contrived. It's really, 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 really goddamn annoying. It's contrived. It gives people improper vocabulary and poor ways of speaking about what we're enduring. And then it makes people sound like idiots. It makes people sound like they don't really know what they're talking about. And it makes it so that when people do speak about these things, they don't get taken seriously. I mean, when someone talks about, oh, the simulation is going to be stopping soon and we're all going to be in the 5D, you sound silly and dumb. I mean, you sound like you've smoked too much meth or whatever the fuck. So I hope they don't censor me for that. But it sounds like you've smoked something you shouldn't have smoked. And even though I and other people who are aware of these things can understand, obviously, what's being said, it just sounds woo-woo and dumb to people that don't get it, which you can say it will anyway, but the more ridiculous and imprecise language that you use when talking about these things, the more you make it difficult for people who have a hard time with this anyway to actually come on and access spiritual reality. So using correct and precise language is very important. And if you don't have access to correct and precise language, yes, you do. You simply have to want it. And anyway, this is an access point. So this isn't about being pedantic. It's about being true, telling the truth. So again, there's no 3D to 5D anything. It's 4D to 6D. And that's just technical knowledge that one can have in the same way that one can have technical knowledge of how the inner workings of a car or a vehicle or anything work, or how grammatical functions of language work, etc. All anyone needs to know is that this is fundamentally the movement from darkness to light, from untruth to truth, from death to eternal life. Let there be peace, let there be peace. Om, om, shanti, shanti, shanti. Let there be peace. Yes? That's what this is. This is peace. It's about peace. So the technical knowledge of any of this stuff, the technical knowledge of yoga, the technical knowledge of martial arts, the technical knowledge of dance, the technical knowledge of grammar, the technical knowledge of anything is absolutely 100% fucking, I was going to say mother fucking, father fucking, uncle fucking, irrelevant. It's irrelevant. You don't need that technical knowledge. It's not relevant. It's only meaningful to those who understand it and who are able to use it to help assist others or teach others or shed light for others, give light to others. And even then, it's not necessary unless it's been necessary for you. So there's no need to go forcing technical terms on anybody. However, if you are going to use technical terms, it's important to use the proper ones. So this is just the movement from darkness to light. It's coming out of ego consciousness and into true consciousness, into God consciousness, into cosmic consciousness, universal consciousness, true human awareness of self. That's all. Let there be peace, let there be peace, let there be peace. Now I'm going to go grab some water and probably take a shower. I feel like there's one more thing that wants to be said. And that is, oh goodness. Love. Love. This is love. This is about love. This isn't about being right or being wrong, being perfect or imperfect. This is love. This is pure love. And what that means is you have to be love. That means no more of this, and forgive me if this upsets you, or don't, but that's your issue. Please forget all of this channeling nonsense, all of this. What people call mediumship is a lesser art. It's a lesser craft. There's nothing high about it. I'll explain that in just a second. But channeling, people will sit here and say, okay, hi, here I am. I'm the everyday personality, and now I'm going to channel spirit. Fuck you. God is all there is. I heard somebody say, I have to tell spirit to leave me alone when I'm doing things because what the fuck? You couldn't breathe without God. You couldn't see, hear, shit, or smell without God. What do you mean you have to tell God to wait? What the fuck? God is all there is. So all this business about being a channeler is just compartmentalizing God. It's compartmentalizing yourself. It's lying. It's not taking responsibility for self, for God, for truth, for spirit, for love. It's trying to have one foot in and one foot out. It doesn't work like that. And so all this, what is mediumship then? Mediumship is just, you're either lying and making shit up out of your own subconscious content, your unconscious, subconscious, unconscious usually content. The unconscious just means what you're unaware of. The subconscious is the programming. Most subconscious mind is in the unconscious for most people. So mediumship could be you are walking through the woods and you're simply putting words to the invisible. You're putting words to the energy structure surrounding a tree or a waterfall or some energy. So you're either making the invisible visible with your words or with your painting or with some kind of expressive medium. That's why it's called mediumship. Or else you're just sitting here going, oh, the ghosts are saying blah, blah, blah. And 99.999% of the time, it's just bullshit, fucking stupid, made up trash that's coming out of fantasy. And it's not necessary, because when you are speaking, you are either telling the truth or you're not. That is, you're either speaking from ego, in which case it's all bullshit, whether you call the ego my own personality, or whether you call your ego the Pleiadians or the Arcturians or the tree spirits or the ancestors or someone's dead family member or whatever it is. Or you're speaking from pure unalloyed consciousness, which is the source of creation. Whether you're using the instrument of it's God speaking, or it's Krishna or Shiva, or it's the Pleiadians or the Arcturians or the enlightened ancestors or the high priest of Atlantis. I mean, you can use whatever framework you want to. Those are all frameworks. I'm going to channel the dragons of golden light. You're either speaking from ego or you're speaking from consciousness, however you frame it. And so channeling is just a framework that people use in order to deliver a message, because in the Western world, there's no concept, there's no notion or awareness of the idea of an actual enlightened being or a conscious being. In the Eastern world, that's just commonly understood. So no yogi or swami or guru would sit there and say, I'm going to now channel the being from beyond, because it's understood that they are that. In the flesh, embodied. They are consciousness itself. And so in the Western world, where the notion is, no, you are your personality, which is untrue. It's not true. It's false. But in the Western world, the belief is, the base notion of self is you are your personality. That's the deepest part of you, which is sad, sick, stupid. But that's the belief. And so therefore, in the Western world, in order to bring through anything higher, because people say, oh, where did you learn all this stuff? Bro, I am this. What do you mean, where did I learn it? I am this. This is my life. But people don't understand that. They can't, it goes right over their heads. They can't, because it's outside of their ability to even cognitively process that such a thing could be real. And so in the Western world, you have to say, okay, I'm going to move my personality aside, and I'm going to allow pure source consciousness to channel through me, to come through me, which is fucking stupid. Because that's all that's moving through you anyway. There's nothing else to move through you. The ego self, the personality self, with which you identify, is an illusion. It's not real. God is all there is. Pure source consciousness is literally all there is. So to split yourself into two and say, here's my human personality, and then here's source consciousness, that's just fucking contrived and stupid. But that's part of the framework, which allows for people to feel that they're digesting the information more easily. But I've never met or listened to anyone that talks like that who wasn't just giving some bullshit on some level. And so it's not fucking helpful. So we're past that. We're past the need for the mediumship of anything, for having any medium in between you and God. So we don't need tarot cards. I'm sorry. It's a cute story. It's a cute story. It's a cute way to put form and texture and shape and narrative to consciousness, but it's ultimately unnecessary. We don't need astrology. It's a very cute way of describing certain very subtle and very large, you can say archetypal or deeper, broader sort of energetic structures that are part of the human being, but ultimately it's unnecessary because there's something beyond it, which you are. The planets all derive their light, their life, and their stories and their significance from you. The cards all derive their life, their light, their story, and significance from you. Everything derives its light, its life, its story, and significance from that which you are. Therefore, you don't need to consult the cards or consult the charts or to consult some being that you're channeling from a higher planet and dimension. Those are all just frameworks and tools that you use as permission to break through into the truth of who and what you really are, which is here. Closer than the stars, closer than the cards, closer than channeling entities. You don't have to put yourself through all those paces. Those are all preliminary steps into consciousness, into God consciousness, into the true self. You don't need any of that. It's just clutter and it's in the way. It's ridiculous, actually. You're either plugged in or you're not. And if you're plugged in, then all the masters are here with you. Every single one is right here with you, constantly. Not as some hallucination. You may or you may not see things. That's irrelevant. But all the masters are here with you, in you, as you. Completely. No division, no separation. And because you see it's ultimate, it's the truth of everything and everybody. It's just what's here. It's what is. There's no pride. There's no vanity. There's no personalizing the identity. There doesn't need to be. That would be a ridiculous secondhand movement that would bring no benefit to the situation whatsoever. Because the voice is either speaking from consciousness or speaking from ignorance. Period. There's nothing else to do. And so you can outsource that ignorance or that consciousness to some star system or to some deity form or to some ancestral spirit, but that's just your inability, your lack of desire to actually take ownership and responsibility for what's coming out of your mouth. Because it's your consciousness. It's your consciousness. Take it, grab it. It's your consciousness. God belongs to you. So grab God, grab consciousness, take it. It's yours. Don't sit around waiting for someone else, whether it's a philosopher, a psychologist, a physicist, a theologian, an artist, or whether they're an artist or a bullshit artist or a channeler or a medium or a card reader or an astrologer. Don't wait for anybody. Don't wait for fucking anybody to tell you who you are or what to do or what's real and what's not real. If you give a fuck about your own life, then you have to grab it by your own hands. You have to reach into yourself and grab God and pull the rascal out. You have to grab the Mo and say, come here. You have to grab it. You have to grab it. You have to be a light. Not waiting around for somebody else's light. You have to be the light. And you can't be the light if you're walking around timid and frightened and scared and waiting for someone else to guide you or teach you or tell you or show you what to do. Or being dependent on, am I getting a real transmission or is it a fake transmission? You're either plugged into consciousness or you're in ignorance. Ignorance is secondhand. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, hand. Consciousness is first-hand direct. Complete and utter, total, all-encompassing, all-encompassed, all-being contact with all that is. And so you never have to say, okay, everybody, I'm leaving my personality and I'm now going to channel the Pleiadians. You don't have to do that fucking shit. Because if you were actually channeling something, if they are totally 100% conscious, then their consciousness is 0% different from yours if you're truly plugged in. So if you're truly plugged in, if one is truly plugged in, if I'm truly plugged in, if I am here, I am plugged inness itself. If I'm here, if I'm really here, then what the fuck do I need to mediate my awareness through anything else for? That's ridiculous. That was the whole point of Christ and Buddha saying, you're in direct contact with God. Forget these priests. Forget these people with whom you think you have to have some kind of mediumship dealings in order to get to God. God is inside of you, for fuck's sake. So it's very chic to channel beings, and it's very chic to, let some ancient master speak through you. Who the fuck do you think you are? You're either speaking as ego, which feels and believes itself to be separate from others and separate from God and separate from the stars, or you know yourself to be that. I am the stars. I am the gods. I am the source. I am the prophets. I am the world. I am the galaxies. I am the cosmos. I am that. That is all there is. Everything and everybody is that. There's nothing to channel. There's nobody to channel. Because I am that, and so are you, and that's the point. And what is that? It's pure fucking love. And in this love, we just want to play. We want to dance and sing and laugh and make love and make joy. We want to be with each other. It's not about walking around with some stuffy identity. I'm the chosen channel of the 12th Galactic Arcturian Senators from the 12th Quadrant of Omicron Persei 9. You know, whatever the fuck. Okay? It's not that little Futurama almost reference there. It's not about any of that. That's just creating some weird hyperdimensional personality identification, which is meant to make you feel special and safe and secure in this world. That's how you secure your income. That's how you secure your social status. I'm a high interdimensional channel of the beings of the blah blah blah. You are already God. You're already one with God. That includes all the star beings and all of the ancestors. And if you want to use the concept of Atlantis or Lemuria, that's fine. But what is the purpose of those concepts? What's the purpose of feeling at one with ancient India or Egypt or Greece or any place or any part of the ancient African or ancient European or anything? What's the point of feeling with any star civilization in this galaxy or another? What's the point? That you realize your unity, your union with all that is, with everything. It's not about dividing and splitting yourself up into bits and pieces. You are every shaman, every guru, every prophet, every deity, every star race, everything. You are that. No, but I'm Mintakan, and they're Sirian, and they're Arcturian, and they're Orionish. It's like, oh, fuck off and fuck you. You want to be special. Every identity belongs to every person. Everybody has been everybody and everything, because there is only one consciousness, and that is called God or truth or love or being or awareness or life. Call it whatever you want to call it. Everything else is just a limited, provisional, intermediary, temporal framework, which is meant as a bridge to bring people from one place to another. And when everybody is crossed over to the other side, you close the door, you get rid of you don't need the bridge anymore. It's all provisional. It's a provisional framework to try to get people who are so far fucking gone to understand something. So this is part of the cutting away of the excess here. Please don't get lost in all that stuff. Don't get lost. It's fine. I love to walk around under the sky at night, talking with the stars. Because I'm talking with God. I'm talking with my own self. I'm talking with my own ancestors. I'm talking with, which are the ancestors of all beings. I love to be with nature, with the earth, with the sky, with the trees, with the forests. I love to be at the temple. I love to be at the dance floor. I love to be at the dojo. I love to be here, talking to you. And it's all God. It's all God. It's all one. There's no need to be artificially fucking weird about it. We're already weird. WYRD. Weird. Weird means the web of weird, which is all time, space, and thought. The giant, interconnected, you could say, web of all that is. And then there's the well of weird, which is the vast, infinite, unformed, timeless potential, you could say, of all that is. So weird means both all of time and space and all of timelessness, both the eternal and the temporal. That means that which is totally undefined, undefinable, and uncategorizable. Weird. God is weird. The Latin word for weird is queer. Beyond category, uncategorizable, that which contains everything. Say, God is weird. God is queer. God is all there is. All there is God. And I've even heard people say, yes, we all come from God and source, but I am a special being from a special star system, and if you don't like it, then fuck off. Right? Because one needs to feel protected and safe and secure in one's ego. One needs to feel secure. One needs to feel special. Because one is hurt. Because more important than having some special particularized identity with some nation or some race or some religion or some gender or some star system is your absolute irrevocable union and unity with God. Because that is all that matters. Nothing else matters. Everything derives its light, its source, and its sustenance from that, and that alone. Therefore, needing to be special is a plague, it's a curse. It's a means of trying to separate yourself from God, from others, from truth. That is the ego, that is the mind. Whether you like to hear it or not, it is what it is. So all those movements are merely provisional, nothing more. Nothing more. Now then. I think I've said quite enough. I really would like to go get some water now, and then go take a shower. Or maybe take some water, and then go get some food, and then take a shower. We'll see what happens. Doesn't matter. It'll be what it must be. Alrighty, y'all. Love you.